What is up, guys? Clay Enjoyer here, and it's time to enjoy. I don't know if any of you guys know, but minifigs are cool. They're super customizable, and you can get them to look any way you want. So this minifig, I'm making how I want, which is pretty terrifying in the end. This sculpture, however, is different from my normal creations. I don't even need an armature for this one. I can just go straight into cutting out the torso and marking out the armholes, which are like close enough, but it's pretty hard to measure in my opinion because all I'm doing is really eyeballing it. With a little bit of clay on the chest, I can make the pecs, obviously, because instead of making a fat minifig like North the Border did, I want to make mine look a little bit different. So my minifig is gonna be absurdly buff, like he's on multiple cycles of steroids that give the minifigure his unattainable body that definitely doesn't push unrealistic beauty standards. But with that midlife crisis out of the way, I can now make the detailed back. I didn't really know what a muscular back looked like, so I kind of just assumed, I guess I thought this looked okay. But with the little underwear piece made for the legs to eventually swivel on, I can start making said legs, because in making any Lego minifig, that's the next step. Duh. And to keep my minifig looking at least somewhat proportional with the torso, I can give the legs some extra defined musculature. Even though legs on minifigures are really weird proportionally, so it kinda looks weird when I'm already adding the knees and the leg muscles are just so small. But I did add a tiny bit of clay on the side to make the legs look a little bit more thick, even though I do kind of think that's a mistake, but I don't want to try and mess the legs up because they took me long enough. But with the legs in place, I can drill and clean up the little holes on the back. Unfortunately though, like this entire build, it doesn't fit. It's just a little bit too small, but I'm too worried to drill out anything else because like with the torso, it kept breaking, unfortunately. But on the other hand, with the legs done and they can move good enough, it's time to start working on making these arms look extra beefy. Which starts by adding some nice big shoulders, followed by adding some biceps, but my big hands are in the way, so it's hard to see. Well, actually my hands are kind of small, but the minifig is even smaller, so it's really hard to see. But with the hands baked, because I figured it would be easier to do it that way, I can pop them off the little tool and stick them onto the empty armholes and blend them in a little bit. These hands are a little bit thicker, but again, that's okay. With a little bit of extra detail on the shoulders to define the three muscle heads, the front, rear, and side delts, I can try and do a little bit of wire to connect the arms. Connecting the arms was really annoying off camera, but I guess you'll never know that because it just looks seamless here. With all the body parts put together, I only have one piece left, which is the head, because I figured that it would be the hardest thing to sculpt because facial features are hard, and especially at this small, it'll be really difficult. But somehow, I forgot to record all the steps. I'm sorry, that's my bad. I just went with a generic face and a hairstyle similar to what the previous minifig had, but with some ear holes as one of the only details I somehow remembered to show. It's now on to the painting process because the entire minifig is done and it looks good enough. At first, I was really tempted to paint this minifig like a nice skin color or like brown or something to make it look like he was tanning out in the sun, but then I figured that would be just crazy, so then I just decided to go back and do the standard yellow over all the body, like the legs, hands, chest, and the head. Now, I should have said something about it earlier, but I know that he's only really wearing a Speedo and shoes, which doesn't make any sense because it would make more sense if he had like gym shorts on or something. But what I did try is just that, and I thought the shorts made him look like he was wearing a dress instead of actual shorts, so I just scrapped that idea. But after painting the shorts, Speedo red, I can do a little bit of lighter red in the middle to act as like weathering and highlighting. Same for the tops of the leg muscles with a palish yellow, which is basically just white at this point, so it can actually be visible because I need some contrast and I was too nervous to do a wash of like brown or something. I want to make sure I get every single last muscle with this white on top to act as highlights for every single muscle to make it look nice and beefy, because I think it makes the model look a lot prettier, and because I don't really have a whole lot of other detail to add, and this just makes it look a little bit more quote-unquote lifelike and a little bit less flat. Same thing for painting the shoes, which start with this black, to then get gray on the bottoms with some treads, because why not? Again, even though no one's gonna see this because the minifig is gonna be standing up, but then again, you guys don't know what my room looks like. You guys don't know how I have my sculptures posed, I guess. But with that thing out of the way, I can now paint the hair in this orangey brown color, but I ended up changing it to brown and then filling in the eyes and mouth with the black because this was super finicky, and I thought this minifig just looked super soul destroying, but with a little eyes it makes it look a lot better. It's finally time for the reveal. Unfortunately, on this channel, my sculptures don't always fit 100% of the time. This was one of those cases where the pin that holds the head on the torso broke inside the clay head, so it's kind of stuck. So I can only really transform the pants. But other than that, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more videos like this. Alright, bye.